Hey everybody, it is Dee and Renee, and we are going to be celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving today. So Dee has been cooking like crazy over the weekend, and I've seen some of her amazing recipes, which I know that all of you have seen our Thanksgiving photo album. If you haven't, check it out. Dee, tell us a little bit about what is happening in Medicine Hat. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pop you up here with this big old roast, and then I got to pop myself out for a minute. So,
hey, everybody. So as you know, we are one short weekend away from Canadian Thanksgiving, and that always garners a lot of conversation in clinic about what can I eat? What am I going to eat? Oh, I'm traveling to the in-laws, to the outlaws, to the friends, all those situations where lots of times we're worried that we're not going to have things that we can eat. But what I am here to tell you is there is so much fabulous, so many choices that you actually can, and you're going to want to start with your basic building steps of your main dish. So are you going to cook a turkey? Are you going to do a ham? Are you going to do a roast beef? Are you going to do prime rib? Are you going to go untraditional and do something totally different? Are you the host, or are you going somewhere else where it's going to be your job to bring a side dish? So start thinking about all these things really, well ahead in advance, so that you don't have any, food anxiety. Holidays are wonderful. They really are truly celebrations that do include, people that you love usually, and a lot of good food. But that's just that. Good food is good food, and healthy food is good food. And we need to really keep our focus on nourishing our bodies and not just what tastes good on your lips for a couple of minutes. So I chose the roast beef as my main dish this last weekend, and my family likes rare roast beef, as you can tell, but I am going to give you a cooking temperature chart to help you achieve the tenderness that you may prefer. So yes, so when we
well, it looks absolutely fabulous. If you are on with us today, do us a favor and number one, give us a hashtag live and tell us where you're from. And for all of those Canadians, we are celebrating your Thanksgiving with this show. And then for all Americans, this is just a preview of some of what you can be cooking up in the next, I think it's about 7 weeks away. Yeah. So we got a watching you gals from Michelle. Hey, Michelle, tell us where you're from.
Hello, Michelle.
All right, so remember that this week we're now giving away dinner cookbooks. So if you haven't got the Dee's Dinner Cookbook, or even if you do, you can always give it as a gift to someone else. But we're giving you a download to the brand new recipes cookbook. So to get that, you want to give us a hashtag live and then tell us a nugget of wisdom that you found in this show. All right, Dee. So this looks amazing. One of the things that I actually can do. Okay, so somebody's telling us they have no sound. Does anybody else not have sound? Can you let us know what's about that? I can check my phone, but we should have sound. So I'm going to keep going forward unless I get more than one person saying we have no sound.
Okay.
So one of the things that I actually do well is I can make a roast.
Nice.
So that's, roasts are simple. So for all of you that love a roast for the holidays, nope, we've got, I'm not sure. Okay, we do have sound, or we don't have sound. Okay, we got sound. All right. So for all of you that are, doing something that is out of your comfort zone, it's okay. So one of the things, and I was texting with Dee the other night, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to make chicken soup. And they, you know me, I order my groceries on Instacart. So they sent me some ground lean chicken breast. And I was like, can I put this in soup? And Dee's like, oh yeah, sure. Scramble it up, put some spices on it. And what kind of spices? So you can do this and you can totally change everything. All right, Dee. So we've got let's say hello to a bunch of people now. I'm going to be quiet for a while. Sherry is live from Texas.
Hi, Sherry.
Joelle, it's your sound, babe. Take a look at your maybe it's your maybe it's turned off like mine was earlier. So Angeliki, is that Greek? That's what that sounds like to me, from Halifax. And we've got Cindy on here giving us some kind of other language. I'm not sure which. And Alita Watkins, everybody say hi. Give us
Hello,
a hashtag live. All right, Dee.
Awesome.
So we've got this lovely roast, and I love a rare roast too. But so in the recipe that's coming out, you're going to let people know how to make that. Is that right? How to have different temperatures?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll give you some internal temps for those folks that like a medium rare or a more well done dish. Yeah.
Okay. So it's interesting because I was looking at this picture going like, what in the heck is this? And then I saw that this is smashed radishes.
So most of you at some time have probably tried some version of a crispy smashed potato. And while we're on phase one, of course, we are not going to have those little nuggets, but radishes are an excellent replacement. They're an excellent replacement in a crock pot. They're great roasted. They're a fabulous potato substitute. And so I thought, why the heck not? Let's do a phase 1 through to phase 4 version of that smashed radish. And they turn out crispy and delicious. And we cheat a little bit on the phase 1. So instead of cheese, we're going to use a little bit of beaten egg to achieve the crispiness once they're broiled in the oven. And of course, phase 4 has some good old bacon and some good Parmesan. Renee, what's your favorite Parmesan cheese? I never say it right. Reggiano. That is actually what is on the phase 4 one. I always want to not speak in its proper terms. I want to call it Reggiano. Terrible. Renee does it justice. I do not.
My favorite thing that you say is pico di gallo. It's okay. We all have our own,
I do it all the time.
You have to remember, I grew up in California, where we have a lot of Hispanic stuff going on here.
Yeah.
Okay, so smashed radishes. Is this like potato pancakes, or what is that?
So a traditional crispy smashed potato is you boil your potato, and once they're nice and tender, you drain them, pat off the water, and then with a potato masher at the bottom of a glass, you smash them down onto a baking sheet, and then you load up your toppings. So for a traditional phase 4 one, it's going to be loaded with yummy butter, cheese, bacon, chives, green onions, those types of things. You can, lots of garlic. I always love garlic. So you can really customize them to suit your taste. So a good phase one smashed crispy radish is still going to have that garlic and seasoning and the chives, the green onions or scallions if you like, get some parsley on there, lots of fresh garlic. So, and then you
Okay, well, we have, I guess Dee kind of froze up for a minute
throw
there.
them under the broiler for a few.
I'll send Dee a quick message. So when we broadcast a little bit later, we tend to not have as great of internet going on. So for all of you, if you have ever had smashed radishes, would you give me a thumbs up? Or no, smashed potatoes. Because I've never had smashed potatoes. You are okay. All right, everybody. So it's you and me. Some of the different things that we are going to. Okay, wait. Me too. Does that mean that you've had smashed radishes before? Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. We got Dee back here. Hey, Dee. So,
sorry, guys.
Yeah, super important. Make sure at this time of night, it's a little sketchy up there in Medicine Hat in the evening time. Okay. So we talked about the smashed radishes. Did you have anything? We kind of lost you about halfway through that.
Oh, so did we get through the ingredients? When I was talking about that?
You were talking about all the phase 4 ingredients.
Oh, yeah. So the phase 1, it has like a beaten egg wash on it, just a little bit, and a lot of fresh garlic and chive and parsley and salt and pepper. And you get great flavor from it under the, you broil them up, and they have really great flavor as well. And well, these are smashed radishes, and the radish still has its skin on. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So they do have their skin on.
Yes.
All right. So so different version for phase 1. Yeah. But these do look. I mean, I love a potato, and who doesn't love a potato? Yeah. Okay. I love that. Yep, I picked that name. I knew you were Greek. My boyfriend is Greek. He's Alexis. And hashtag live with Sandy. Sandy, nice to see you. So if you are on here and you would like to win a cookbook download, be sure that you give us a hashtag live and a nugget of wisdom that you are that you found on this show today, something that you are learning today. So this is truly one of my favorite things, and roasted fennel is amazing. I love onions, and that is the one thing I really miss when I'm doing a really strict phase 1 protocol.
Fennel's amazing. It caramelizes so beautifully, and it takes on, when you roast it or bake it, it has a very gentle flavor. So it does have that very mild licorice flavor, but it also takes on your seasoning so beautiful. And so this is a simple roasted fennel recipe. All your flavoring is just coming from your seasoning blend, and of course fresh lemon and lemon juice on the finish. I always love to use the fronds of the fennel as a garnish as well. They add a nice light flavor, and you're just simply going to wash and cut your fennel in wedges and roast away. That simple. You're going to brush your seasoning and your oil onto the fennel once it's cut this way. You can toss it, but what will happen if you toss it, then your fennel will break into all those little pieces, which is fine too. It's just that they will roast faster, and the edges will caramelize. So wonderful flavor, very simple to do. And again, your seasonings are really, whatever your heart desires. Fennel turns out amazing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. It's totally one of the, I can do it, folks. So you can too. Guess what? Okay, so Dee sent me a message the other day, and she said, I just want to let you know that we are going to have biscuits and gravy. And I was like, all about that. So we got some phase 1 biscuits and gravy. And before we hit that, Sandy had a question. Does roasting the radish take the bite or bitter taste away?
Yes, it does. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. And then depending on what you're roasting your radish in, so if you throw them in a crock pot with a little bit of beef broth or chicken broth, then they will take on whatever flavors you put in with them while roasting.
Wow. So tell us how you created these, the biscuits and gravy. I mean, who doesn't love that?
So of course today we're really focusing on clients that are still in phase 1, as you can tell. And what we are showcasing here, of course, is the amazing potato puree and the amazing chicken flavored soup. And so when I talk about chicken flavored soup, don't confuse it with chicken noodle soup. Don't confuse it with the chicken a la king or the chicken pottage, as it's called. This is the plain base creamy soup. It has 1 carb, and I do believe 80 calories, I think, is on your nutritional label on that one. And it is amazing as a soup. I always like to build on it, but it makes the most fantastic gravy. It will give you a lovely, thick, creamy base and an excellent vehicle for all the traditional herbs and spices that go into gravy. So it is, I recommend just having it on hand for soup bases and gravy for low carb eating, even if you are not on the program. So I love this product that much. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. I can remember as kids, we had, I think everything had some gravy on it. And that was something that I really had to get away from as an adult, because I was really, really used to putting gravy on everything and putting cheese sauce on my broccoli and putting ranch dressing on my potato and butter. And, guess why I gained 65 pounds so fast after college?
Yeah.
So Joyce says, #live, must try the radishes and the biscuits and gravy. I love it. So remember, you guys, we're giving away a cookbook. You got to give us your #live and a nugget of wisdom. So for all of you that love a Brussels sprout, give us a thumbs up. And for all of you that don't, give us a thumbs down. We'll take a poll here and see who loves and who doesn't.
Oh man. You just have to try them. You just have to try them a few different ways to nudge them into the love category for sure.
Hey, I totally love them, but you know what? It took me a really long time to love them, I have to tell you.
Yeah. Prep can be really important on a great Brussels sprout as well too. I love the little tender ones the most. And I always trim the ends, and I actually prefer to slice them in half or quarters because I love that then the edges or the cut side will get nice and crispy and brown, and it has a lot of, so, the outer leaves, they will do a little bit of caramelizing on their own as well too. So they're really tasty as a roasted side dish. Nice and dense, filling. And again, I have many Brussels sprout recipes. This one does have a touch of the maple bacon syrup in them, with, of course, garlic and stone ground mustard and pepper, and touch of salt. They're just simple and very tasty. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, so Tammy says, #live roasted sprouts are a favorite and amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I don't know. I see some thumbs up here, folks. So I haven't gotten one thumbs down. So I like that. And yeah, so that's awesome. And Sherry says she's from Texas, and girl, gotta try those biscuits and gravy. I knew that was going to be a hit.
That's awesome.
Okay, so give us your #live. Marianne says that #live love roasted vegetables, so filling. Yeah, they really, they're delicious. I know it. Sometimes it sounds weird. Okay, so you know that I always leave my last, my most favorite pictures till the end, and today I got 2 favorite pictures. Now, what I couldn't figure out, Dee, is this for breakfast or is this for dessert?
Both.
Okay. All right.
It's that good. Mm-hmm. So you've probably all seen, now I always say this, and I've got to find a new phrase. I should ask this question. Who has heard of a Hasselback potato? Or who has made Hasselback potatoes, or who has, come across one in a restaurant? Anybody seen a Hasselback potato? So Hasselback is just when they take a baked potato and they slice the slits in it, just like you see, but we're using a chayote squash is what we're doing. And you slice slits in it almost all the way through to the bottom, and then you fan it out beautifully, and then you can put your filling, whatever your, whatever your heart desires, in those nice cavities now that you have, and pop things back in the oven and bake them up. So this is an entire chayote, roasted, then sliced, and then filled with a delicious apple oatmeal batter, and loaded with spice and a little bit of maple syrup. And the chayote itself is spiced and has a little drizzle of maple syrup over it. Pop that back in the oven for 20 minutes to bake up your oatmeal, and you have a huge breakfast, or a lunch, dinner. I don't know. It's so simple and tasty and so good. And so an excellent way to get your vegetables in. Yeah, you know what? It does actually have a core, it has a seed pod in it. Now, it's a good thing. That's a great question, because I did want to actually talk about this. You can eat that seed pod. You don't have to, though. You will find it even once it's roasted, but it does soften up a lot once the whole chayote is roasted. When I cut the chayotes raw in half and quarter them or slice them like apples, I usually do discard that seed. But when I roast them whole, I just leave it and eat it. It doesn't bother me. But if the texture does, it gets quite nice and soft. So totally.
Yeah, when I put it in with my chayote when I'm doing what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I thought it was funny. Michelle said, looks like a half a pumpkin. Sounds delicious. Joelle wants to know, did you leave the skin on?
Absolutely. I don't ever peel a chayote squash, and it's not because of the little bit of secretion that the skin gives. I wash my produce and very rarely peel it. Rutabagas, turnips, those tougher ones that aren't so great, that have a lot of bitterness to them, then I will remove, but I never peel a chayote squash. It's so mild, it's so tender. It doesn't, it's not like an apple peel, it's much softer. And so I find it gives great texture to the palate as well. And I like the color. I have to tell you, I like the two-tone color of the squash as well. And so I know we talk about chayote an awful lot. It is a squash that you can get year-round, and if your grocery store does not carry it, you simply just have to ask them to carry it for you. I know that where we are in Canada, in southern Alberta, it is not in our growing region or range. And if we can get it way down here, because I'm telling you guys, most of our produce has to cross the border from you guys. It is just a true story. Even if it's grown here, so much of our fruit and vegetables are imported into Canada, and that squash is one of them. So but put it on your list to try, and we can help you out with it. We have so many fabulous recipes with chayote in it.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is my favorite picture, and for some reason, this looks to me like one of those, those donuts that have like the maple icing on them. That's what I thought this was, and then it said gingerbread cookie.
Well, I want to talk about that icing because we have donut recipes, we have gingerbread cookies, we have chocolate cookies, we have caramel chayote cookies, we've got lemon cookies, we got all kinds of cookies. So we've got the cookie business kind of down pat. What I wanted to touch on was, again, special occasions come around and the dessert breaks out, or, the cheesecake, or, grandma's recipe from 1920 that everybody has to, the meal's not complete without it. And then we sometimes have people saying, well, I felt really left out, or I really did want something too. And we can help you with that. We can make you something super, super tasty. And so I actually wanted to feature, and I talk about this every once in a while, but if you're a fan of some of the restricted bars, such as the caramel nut or the mint or the chocolatey coconut, they melt into incredible icing. And so I can teach you how to make icing. It does not taste like an ideal protein food. It does not taste like protein. It does not taste like protocol or that you are on a clean eating plan. So I really see it as a huge win that we can ice you a donut or a cake or a cookie and give you a very decadent treat even while you're on protocol. And so I think that it's really important to hit all palates. And so I think that if you are a personality that needs that treat to get through the holiday, that is a-okay. Let's give you some ideas on how you can be successful on that. And enjoy your company, enjoy your meal, really enjoy your food. Everything doesn't have to be a no. Let's just try ways to make it work. Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks absolutely delicious. So that was all of Dee's amazing recipes. And we usually do a two-part holiday meal or, shows. Yeah. But since Canadian holiday is next weekend, we'll wait for a couple of weeks and do part 2 before the U.S. Thanksgiving. But one of the things I thought we would talk about, Dee, and, I've been seeing this a lot online is, it's 90 days until the first of the year. As of today, it's 90 days until, January 1st. It's shocking, isn't it? What are you going to do with that 90 days? And then, obviously, what happens here at this time of year is we've got the slippery slope between Halloween, sliding into Thanksgiving, sliding into Christmas, sliding into New Year's, sliding into, oh my, what the heck. So I thought that we would talk for a minute about that.
Sure. Well, there's really only 3 categories at any time of the year, and it's, you're either maintaining, you're losing, or you're gaining. So first of all, you have to decide, we only have 3 categories. And so then when the holiday seasons are upon us, you do really have to decide which category that you are in or willing to be in. And we need to get, so I'm going to give you the hard part first, and we'll give you the fluff later. So here is the thing. Here is the hard and fast thing. I have not met one person in my entire life who doesn't almost every week have some type of celebration. So whether that is birthdays or anniversaries or weddings or whatever, pick a number, birthday party, or, you know, we're having divorce parties and we're having baby showers, and, you know, we're sneaking away to a concert, and, oh, my neighbors just invited us for an impromptu get together, or, oh yeah, so-and-so called and we're going to the pub, and, well, you know, we were hanging out in the sports arena, you know, and they were just cracking those cans and I just couldn't say no. And, well, you know, so-and-so came. It is constant. It is, you know what, for some it's almost daily, because you guys have that aggressive social calendars. So you really have to decide where your headspace is, and it has to come from you. So we're always willing to give you tips and suggestions and scenarios and even language. So we talk about language a lot. So instead of saying I can't have that, you say, oh, I don't eat that. It's a total different mindset and conversation. Or, you know, the food pusher in your life that keeps trying to give you the food that they know that you're so desperately trying to avoid. You know, you are allowed to shut them down. You're allowed to say, oh yeah, not right now. I will get that when I'm ready. End of conversation. And it doesn't matter if it's your best friend or your mother-in-law or your own mom or your own grandma, who will, you know, they're not going to be upset if you don't eat their special dessert. They're really not, you know, and you don't have to say that you're not going to. It's let's just learn some gentle language to redirect things. It's really important. So yes, we are heading into really, it is the gaining season, because of course you guys have it a little bit worse than us here in Canada. We get a little bit of a break between Thanksgiving and Christmas. You guys just have the onslaught. So you know what's going to happen. So now on top of all your regular family stuff, now the work parties are going to happen, and the Christmas parties and all those wonderful things too. So, right, okay. and we're going to travel.
Before you talk again, I have to share this. Marie says, just read about Devolson. Just read about this. Dark evil vortex of late September, October, November, and December. Okay, that's a first. I've never heard that one, but I like it.
Check that. I'm writing that down right now to check it out.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, well, so you know what? Get a diet buddy, and if you're not on a diet, get a maintenance buddy. And maybe, you know what? Maybe you're in a great place, or maybe you're like, you know what? I'm cool. I'm going to maintain, but I need accountability. So get an accountability buddy. You know what? If you're done program or you're in maintenance, you are still totally welcome every week, every 2 weeks, once a month to check in. See what's the latest and greatest in the news. See what's new. You know. Always be looking for meal prep and planning ideas and good food recipes. And, you know, if you're ever stuck, okay, you know, I really like this. How do I make it a little bit healthier for myself and my family? My mom and I have this conversation every holiday. Mom, we don't need the stuffing and the potatoes and the mashed potatoes and the fresh buns and the corn and like, nobody's going to die if 20 starch choices are not present. But we get in the habit of presenting like this because this is what we know. So let's just slowly change that language too. Let's replace, you know, every season, let's pick a new side dish to add. That's not, you know, carb laden and sugar laden. For us as well. It can be done. It doesn't have to all be done in one holiday season. You know, you don't have to come in and say, here I am to wreck the day with my kale, everybody. Like, just slowly, slowly.
Wreck the kale with my kale.
Because we've all been on that end too, and I know they even make commercials now where they joke about this, right? Where the family sits down to the table and they're like, I'm gluten-free, I'm protein-free, I'm animal cruelty-free, you know, and then nobody can eat a darn thing on the table because, you know, everybody's got their, it's, you know, it's all all in good fun, all in good fun. So from now until Christmas, though, we're going to keep every week. We're going to, talk a little bit about tips and trips and holiday traveling and meals and all those kind of things. We'll give you a little bit of tidbits and nuggets all the way through, things that we're really familiar with. And of course, as always, guys, chime in, add in, tell us your coping skills, tell us what really worked well for you or your family or, specific situations, or maybe you had an awesome disaster and you really learned something from it. Share those too, because those sometimes go a long way too. It's not always just about the things that we were super successful in, but, sometimes it takes a good disaster to put us in the right direction too.
Yeah, it's like talking to a gambler, they only ever tell you about their wins. So it's okay for us. We're here to share. And, we were talking a little bit about this. I have a group called Renee Lynn's Inner Circle, and you're welcome to join us over there. But we do some daily questions and, talking about, how we, what is the word that you can exchange for cheat? Because cheats, I think cheat's a terrible word that because we're not cheating. And we've discussed this before, but so we were talking about changing our language, changing the way you do things. It's okay to change the way you do things this holiday and every holiday, it's okay to step away from the craziness. And in our home, I know how many people are going to come. I don't overdo the food. We have enough for everybody to have some great food and a little bit of dessert, but it's not like you don't leave the table in a food coma and feel sick. So it's okay to change those old traditions. I know that that's what families get used to doing and having that. And me personally, as I started on my health journey about 30 years ago, it's definitely been over time that I was able to be okay with that. Yeah, exactly. Sandy says it's not too early to start formulating your plan. I like that. I like that language. So, all right, Dee. So you got to pick a number between 1 and 10. We're giving away a cookbook right now.
Let's go 2 today.
2. Oh my goodness. All right. Let me see. I gotta scroll back here. And
while you're finding a winner, so guys, so like Renee just mentioned, her awesome page 2. And I don't know if you can all see what came in the mail for me, but it is the Ideal Protein Book Club. And today is Dr. Tran's birthday. So he is who developed the protocol that we all use and teach, and well, maybe not all of us, but you know what I mean. We do refer to it a lot. And so Wendy White Stevens has an Ideal Protein Book Club, and there is also another forum where you're all welcome to head over. It's on Facebook, just the Ideal Protein Book Club. And the very first book that they read was Dr. Tran's book. And they have a PDF online copy for all of you to read. And it's a good read and it's a great starting point. And if you haven't read it in a long time, head over, get it, start rereading it, and join Wendy's group over there. You can never have enough support or ideas while you're on this journey. So so happy birthday to Dr. Tran as well today.
And winner chicken dinner is Sherry Freeman. So Sherry, just send me a little note with your email address and I will send you a download of the new cookbook. Awesome. Okay, Dee, it's been fabulous. And, happy holidays to all of our Canadian friends and Dee, to you and your family and having a beautiful, wonderful holiday. So thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Have a great week.
See you soon.